What's going on, everyone? Hawks21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So the hot topic in Splinterlands over the last couple days has been this, I was going to call it a proposal, but it's not even a proposal, the action the team is taking, which, again, we'll just read the headline here. Splinterlands to utilize Chaos Legion packs for deck creation on the NFTy Arcade platform. This was discussed a lot. It seems like, so let me just get out and say it, I think this is one of the best things the team has ever decided to do. To be a little dramatic and over the top. But I really, really like it. And I was very, very, very confused by the initial pushback that the team was getting from doing this. For a couple reasons. And I'm going to get into that in this video. First, we're going to go through this post as well as a follow-up message from Aggie that came through this morning, actually. I generally, a lot of times I'll tweet as this stuff is coming out without much of my take, but I normally like to let 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, go by before I put out a video like this, because I want to see the dust settle. I want to have all the information. I want to provide sort of accurate commentary. I'm not someone who fires something off the hip without, fully thinking through what I want to say or considering how it could broadly impact the game. So just a little comment on why, you don't see this for me necessarily 2 hours after, something like this goes up. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the initial post. We're going to just scroll through this quickly. I guess if you don't know, the NFTy Arcade gateway platform, it's effectively a platform where you can go on, you can effectively borrow cards. It's almost like a scholar setup, in my opinion, where you can go on there and people could post their decks. So right now I could create a silver deck. I could post it on the NFTy platform and I can say, hey, anyone is free to use this deck that I created. You get 80% of the earnings and I get 20% of the earnings. And that's the setup. So it's effectively just like a website that allows you to set up, you don't have to do this whole scholar platform, right? It's a platform that makes it easy for you to not have to rent out your cards, right? It's an earning share. And I think it's really, really cool. And basically, what's happened is NFTy has been going out and trying to onboard people into Splinterlands because that's advantageous for their product. They want people coming in trying the game because a logical solution when people first coming into the game would be wanting to use these decks without having to invest a ton of money into cards to learn the game, to understand the ecosystem, to find cards that they like, and just get comfortable before they decide to spend money. Which, in my opinion, is something that the Splinterlands ecosystem has desperately needed. So basically, NFTy's gone out and they've started to onboard people. And currently, they don't have enough decks available to do the onboarding they think they can do. And over the past, I actually don't even know how long they've been live, but at least a month. What we've seen from data is that players onboarded through NFTy stick around longer. They are much more likely to become longer-term players if they come in through the NFTy platform than any other place. And they talk about that here. So here's what the Splinterlands team is doing. Splinterlands is planning to reserve 500k of the remaining Chaos Legion booster packs to create free-to-use decks of cards to lend out to players through the NFTy Arcade gaming platform. The platform has proven to be a fantastic tool for getting new players into the game by providing the new players with a strong set of starting assets. Again, they don't own these, they are effectively borrowing the deck in a revenue split. They need to be competitive. It makes players starting their journey with Splinterlands much more likely to convert into long-term players. The data we've been looking at shows that players who come through the NFTy Arcade gaming platform stay around much longer and purchase far more packs and cards on the market, on average, than players who come in through any other means. So they do this whole post here with NFTy Arcade and getting really, really into the specifics. We're not going to do that here, but it's here if you want to go through it. The current problem, as I said, NFTy doesn't have enough packs for the amount of new players they are trying to bring in. and they have been hesitating to reach out to more communities until they have more decks available to use. That makes sense. They're not going to do these huge, massive onboarding efforts if they then don't have the assets to supply to make the onboarding easier. We feel like it is a great opportunity to take Chaos Legion packs, which would be otherwise burned, and use them to create decks that can be listed on the NFTy Arcade platform and made available for new players, which NFTy Arcade actively recruits to use at no upfront cost. So again, this isn't a marketing expense on Splinterlands. Splinterlands is still going to own these packs. It's Splinterlands that is holding these packs. They're not giving them to NFTy Arcade. Splinterlands is holding and going to open these packs, create decks, and then put them up on the NFTy Arcade platform. Okay, that's important. Splinterlands owns the decks. Splinterlands promises to never sell any of these cards. So that was one people's concern, and I think those people didn't read the post. Splinterlands is these cards are not coming onto the market, right? They are not being burned, but they are not in circulation. Okay, I think that's an important distinction. The burning of packs is good for people who own Chaos Legion cards and packs, obviously, because of increased scarcity of Chaos Legion cards. People are worried that this means Chaos Legion cards are going to be, 500k packs worth less scarce. But that's not really true. These are not going to hit the market at any point. All rewards that Splinterlands earns from renting out these decks will be burned or used for later promotions for players. Right, so Splinterlands also isn't even going to just be sitting on these, and I think Aggro actually provides an update on this in the message we'll read next. This is a big, big, big thing. So the first thing that came to mind when I heard about this was, why wouldn't I just create a bunch of silver bots and use all of these decks that Splinterlands is going to create? Well, NFTy Arcade is very against bots. They have a very strict no bot policy. You cannot use the NFTy platform if you are botting in the game. So this allows Splinterlands to ensure that all of these decks will go to real new players. Amazing. They're anticipating 1,000 playable decks. Here's another concern. I was thinking, okay, well, if you can play this game at a Diamond or Champion level through NFTy and never invest, and all you're doing is giving up a percentage of your earnings, there's no real incentive for you to buy the cards, right? If you could just constantly use NFTy decks, you never actually have to sit there and be like, all right, I want to own my own decks. I'm fine paying, whatever it is, 20, 30, 40, 50%, because I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is play the game. But they're going to be creating bronze and silver level decks. So this is very specifically just for onboarding of new players. And to me, that's key. I'm going to get more into that once we read Aggro's post when I sort of sum everything up. But the bronze and silver level decks only, it says mostly, so maybe they'll sprinkle in a gold or two. But, if the majority of decks are going to be bronze or silver, that to me is a huge win and aligns with the purpose of this. And we don't want to compete with other players renting out higher level decks through the NFTy Arcade platform. Yeah. The gold cards received from the packs are planned to be used to make gold foil decks that NFTy Arcade can use as prizes or extra incentives that players can win or earn for a period of time through contests. Got it. So sort of same thing. They're going to hold some of the gold cards back for other specific purposes. We've kind of already said this. Yeah, this is key. We see this as a fantastic opportunity to take cards that would have otherwise have been burned and put them to good use without effectively extracting value out of the system. So this is like the best of both worlds. These cards are not going to hit circulation. It's not going to affect, card scarcity. So it's not going to really flow through to card prices. There's not going to be more deep lurkers on the market now. But the cards are helping with something. Previously, they were going to be burned, which I was in support of and I voted for 100%. But if you can find an in-between that doesn't involve burning them and having them provide utility to the ecosystem, that is a win-win. Splinterers will create dedicated accounts to house these cards, so players will be able to track the progress of the account and of the lenders who utilize this platform, utilize this promotion. So it's all going to be public, right? We're going to see who's using the decks, how they're doing, how much they're earning, and we can then follow, okay, people who are using these decks, none of them are buying cards. They're just going to use these decks until they don't exist anymore. Right, so that's going to be something we're going to be able to track. All right, let's get into Aggro's update post. So this was from today. Splinterlands has moved 250k packs off the market and into an account controlled by Splinterlands. We're going to move another 250k packs off the market after the last airdrop has occurred. These packs are going to make bronze and silver decks, so right, they just said bronze and silver here, for the NFTy platform, and we expect them to drive new user adoption. Splinterlands will burn rewards earned from these cards, and if the project is unsuccessful, we'll burn the cards. At no point will Splinterlands sell these cards on the market. So Aggro's very, very specific here, right? They want to try this. They think it's a good idea. And if not, they will burn the cards. So effectively the same outcome as what would have happened, except now we get to use them without them hitting the market to potentially drive new user adoption. This is a no-brainer. We'll run the experiment for a few months. If it is working to bring in new players, we'll continue. If the experiment doesn't seem to be working, and the community through a DAO vote wants these cards destroyed/burnt, we'll honor it. It is a win-win situation all the way around. Then we get into here. With these packs removed from the shop, there's just 1.5 million packs remaining, under 10% left. So it's just sort of talking about a little chaos FOMO. We're running out of packs. It's a long time coming, but it looks like the end of Chaos Legion is upon us. Okay. So video was a little ranty, but to wrap up kind of what I'm thinking, this is an absolute no-brainer. And I'm super, super glad the team is just going forward with this. I'm confused by any sort of pushback. The only sort of pushback I can see, and the people that would be upset, would be people who rent out lower level cards, right? I guess now, if you're renting out bronze and silver level cards, why would anyone rent those cards when they could just go to the NFTy platform? But to me, the upside of this proposal is massive. Massive, massive, massive. We have talked for a long time. I would say the second most call, besides win land, from Splinterlands players, is we need a better new player experience. The team has not found a good way to do that yet, frankly. It just hasn't been something that a lot of progress has been made on. Now, they've made progress in a bunch of different areas. That's not me complaining. I think they've done a fantastic job. I just think one area that has lacked, and they would admit this as well, I'm sure, and I've talked about before how I don't think it should have been their priority, given it's hard to onboard people in a bear market in general. But the new user experience, the new player experience, needs revamping. And all of a sudden, this NFTy Arcade falls down from the skies and basically says, actually, it's in our best interest, based on our business, to do a ton of Splinterlands onboarding. But all we need is for you to provide assets for us to do it. Oh yeah, by the way, you were going to burn these assets anyways. That is incredible. So think about this new sort of flow system. How it works now is a player comes to the game, does the Splinterlands tutorial, which is fine. It's not great. It's okay. You then come out, you have to spend $10 on a spellbook, right? So immediately you have to spend a little bit of money, which again, I think is fine. Splinterlands is a company that needs to make money. People spend $50, $60, $70 on video games. $10, I think, is a reasonable ask for the spellbook. And then you're kind of just left there on the home screen. You're like, all right, what do I do now? I understand the game a little bit. It took me 15 minutes to go through this tutorial. What league should I be playing in? Which splinter should I be leveling up? Like, I haven't had time to test any of these cards. What is this rental market? How do I get money into the game? There's just a lot of things you're then hit in the face with that aren't set up to keep players in the ecosystem. It's hard, it's confusing, it's difficult. There's definitely like a learning curve here with this game. What you're now going to be able to do is get to that home screen go to NFTy, borrow a bronze deck, borrow a silver deck, whatever it is. Start actually playing the game, learning the splinters, learning the cards, learning the rule sets, learning synergies, and you start earning, right? Let's say it's a 50-50 split between Splinterlands and the players. I actually don't know what it is. They haven't said that anywhere. But let's say it's 50-50. I'm sure they'll experiment with it. But you start playing the game. You like the game. Okay, this game's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm earning, whatever the number is, 100 SPS per season. I made that up totally. I could be earning 200 SPS per season if I owned these cards. Okay, wait, I want to start buying some of these cards. I'll start using some of the SPS I'm earning from playing the NFTy deck and buying some cards. I'm going to put some money into credits and start buying some of my own cards. Oh, I'm getting really into the ecosystem. Let me head over to YouTube. Let me watch a Aftersound video. Let me watch a Tails video. Let me watch an Infidel video. Let me watch a Bulldog video. Oh my goodness. The game in Diamond and Champion is so much more fun. Oh, look at these earnings. You're earning 12 SPS per battle in Champion. You're earning, 6 SPS per battle, 5 whatever it is in Diamond. You can earn way more at the highest levels. I want to level up my deck. I want to start playing in gold. The game looks way more fun in gold. That's how the system starts, right? This is the beginning. Like, this is an effective onboarding method that then has a clear sort of route for them to become paying users, buying cards, participating in the broader ecosystem. With very little lift. Basically, Splinterlands has to do nothing. They have to just pull the packs off and hit the open button, right? NFTy's going to do all the work. So as a community, we've stressed needing a better new player experience, right? And now we have it, and people are upset. It seems like the pushback has died down a little bit over the last couple days, which has me feeling pretty good. I'm super excited about this. I think it's a no-brainer. What am I missing? I want to hear from the people who disagree with me. Who here doesn't like it? Why don't you like it? What am I not realizing about this? Where I think this is a very clear win-win. And also something Splinterlands has said right here, that if it doesn't go well, we're going to get what we were going to get anyways. So, overall, I think this is amazing. I'm glad they're pushing forward with it. I'm glad we're not going through a vote. Like, the company needs to do what the company thinks is best for the game. And clearly they feel strongly about this, as I think they should, as the data shows. I haven't been this fired up about something that's happening in the game for a while. It's just one of those things where I was reading it, I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. We needed this yesterday. We needed this last week. We needed this last month. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up before I continue to ramble on. Thanks for being here. If you like this Splinterlands content, you normally don't get these ranty type videos from me, but every once in a while I'll mix one in. But if you want more Splinterlands content, you've come to the right place. It would be awesome if you could take a second to subscribe to the channel and join our Splinterlands community here. Alright, I will talk to you guys soon and see you around the game.